Hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Kraft. My website is stephaniecraft.com. I am an energy healer, an intuitive energy healer, and a hypnotherapist. And I also do twin flame healing sessions. You can book your sessions directly on my website by clicking on the Schedule Now button. I do phone sessions and I see people in my office in Burke, Virginia, which is a suburb of DC. Um, and you can learn more about all of that on my website, stephaniecraft.com. So in this video, I want to talk about releasing judgment. I really believe that we're in a time of deep reflection right now where we can reevaluate our own ourself, our behaviors, even our beliefs, our ideas about things, and also just gain really deep insights into ourselves. And that's because a lot of planets are in retrograde, and it just is a time of reflection and reevaluation. And it seems to be happening for me naturally without effort. It's almost like I'm having a review of a lot of things, a lot of ways that I have been. And it's very insightful, to use that word again. And I'm not doing it on purpose. It seems to be sort of a natural flow of almost like epiphanies coming in. Epiphany is a little bit of a strong word for what I'm experiencing, but anyway, I think that's the time we're in. And we're also in a time where people are divided because of beliefs. People are in a heightened state of judgment because they feel that other people believe something different from themselves. And I have been that way in my life. And I recently made a video, and in that video I said something that I deeply regret, which was that the people who are believing the mainstream media are wrong because the mainstream media lies. My mistake was that I said that people who believe the mainstream media are wrong. So I don't want to make anybody wrong, and I apologize for saying that, because I realized that nobody's wrong and nobody's right. We have different beliefs, but really, when it comes down to it, at this as a soul, we're all here for experience. And so who am I to judge what another person's experience is? I don't know what they're here to learn, to experience, to discover, to shift, to just in general, to experience. And so I realized that it's actually narcissistic of me to react or judge another person for their beliefs, because that's me saying someone should believe the way I believe, and if they don't, they're wrong, or they're stupid, or they're blind, or brainwashed, or whatever, any word of judgment. And it can be frustrating, I know, if you have beliefs that you believe are true and real, and other people have such opposing beliefs or ideas. And it's just it I think that, okay, so I was aware, and I'm not talking about this topic of mainstream media, I'm talking about judgment in general right now. I was aware that I have judgment, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want it, and I knew that it was wrong. So I shouldn't use that word wrong, because I'm not wrong. I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm on a path of enlightenment. Everybody is on a path of enlightenment, maybe not in a particular lifetime, but over the course of lifetimes as souls, we are. And so I was aware of that, that I judge, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want it. But it's not easy even once you become aware of something, for it to shift, it's still there. But what's been happening, I believe, is grace. Through grace, I'm being shown myself in a very clear way, in a very introspective way, but in a way that I can have distance and see more of the truth of how I am. And I took that video down, for a couple weeks, or I don't know how long, because I felt shame and I felt so bad that I said, "You're wrong." And it's like, that's not even who I feel that I am anymore, to say that somebody's wrong. I truly don't even believe it anymore. I've had a shift, and it's like, nobody's wrong. Nobody is wrong. We are all here having a unique experience that we're meant to have, because our soul is guiding it. Our higher self is guiding us and our experience. And so how can that be wrong? If somebody's, if I feel like somebody hasn't woken up yet to some truths, um, I don't even have any judgment about that anymore, because they're on their own path. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter where I am on my path, what my beliefs are. And it's like, I also got I've gotten some anger, um, angry messages about some things that I said in a video. It doesn't matter right now what that was, but the point is that a lot of people are doing this right now. If I have certain beliefs, then people make judgments about me. And I think it's good for us to all take a step back and realize, wait a minute, that is narcissistic, to be affected by the fact that somebody else has another belief. Like, it's as if the world revolves around me. Everybody should have the same beliefs. And if they don't, I'm angry at them. You see how that's not really healthy or functional? Because we want to evolve, right? We want to create more harmony, the ability to get along better with each other. We don't have to agree. And how wonderful it is to have a diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, but not have an emotional reaction or a personal attack, or attachment to another if they have a different opinion. Why not just let it flow and realize, like, oh, we feel differently, we have different beliefs, and it doesn't have to be a personal thing, because like, I'm just repeating myself, but I think it's fine to repeat, because it's like getting these concepts. It's not like snap of the fingers, oh, I get it, and now I'm shifted. It's more like, let it seep in, let it sink in, process it. It's a lot to think about it. So it's hard to see yourself, and it's hard to shift how you are, right? Judgment can be like deeply ingrained, and people might not even realize it's a thing to release. They might not think. I grew up with my relatives on one side of my family being extraordinarily judgmental people. I grew up with that. And they never once thought to themselves, oh, I just said that about that person, I probably shouldn't. No, they were like outright judgmental, talking about people all the time, looking out the window, calling people names, making up names. Oh, I don't even want to say it. Well, I can say it. It's kind of funny, but they called this one man Mr. Walrus, right? I grew up with, not in the same state. I would visit that side of the family like once a year, twice a year. But it's like those people didn't even question, like, oh, it's wrong, or I should probably not do that, or it's not right. But I am like that. I realized, like, oh God, I shouldn't judge, but I was doing it. So now something has shifted where I'm like, it's not effort for me. I'm literally not judging oh, it's like, oh, it's like nothing if people are different or have different opinions or there anything. I'm not judging anything anymore. Anything. And it's like in my mind now, I'm seeing it from the high perspective, from the soul level of like, oh, they need that experience. Everyone's a unique soul. Everyone's having their own experience. Everyone has their own world. Everyone is their own universe. Who am I to judge anything about their universe, their life, their experience, what they're learning, what they think, what they believe? It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. It's nothing. It's cool now to watch and see like people have different opinions. Nothing affects me. Nothing that they're doing needs to affect me. You understand? Like, do you see that? Can you get that? Like it doesn't matter. Okay, even if you're living in a household with, or you're very close with family and you have different beliefs, because we all know that we're living in a very heated time, socially, economically, politically. And so I know families, and spouses and just people that you're very closely connected to, people are having relationships break up. People are not speaking to family members anymore. We all know that this has been going on. But what if you were in a situation like that, living with someone or being, family member with somebody, and the beliefs were different? And what if you just what if you just let them have that belief or thought and it didn't affect you in your emotions, in your mind, in your body? I mean, our bodies react. We have like visceral reactions. People get very angry. I had people being very angry at me, just because I see things differently or believe something differently. And I don't feel that way towards others anymore. But like, do you think you could just have a non-reaction? And I'm not saying force it, because I didn't force. This was like a grace thing that sort of descended upon me, like a big shift. But I'm just saying, like, what if you just, it doesn't matter and people can believe whatever they believe? And if it makes you feel better, you can find people who do believe in what you believe in and find friends and community that way. But you don't have to shun or disconnect from anyone just because they have different beliefs, right? I mean, we should probably all have learned this by now, right? It seems so simple. It seems almost so juvenile to even have to talk about it. But here we are, and we all know it's happening, where people are holding on to very strong judgments right now. I really do believe that even though it's heated in a lot of areas right now on this topic, I also feel that we're going to be shifting into more openness. Maybe not right now, but maybe with more awareness on the topic, people can get more aware of how they are, take a step back and realize the world doesn't revolve around me. Their world doesn't revolve around my world. Even if you live in the same house, we all really we're like, a universe unto ourselves. And so, yeah, I think it's important. And it's also interesting to shift this perspective and release judgment. I think it's one of the most important things we can do. I truly believe that for humanity to come into greater unity, harmony, cooperation, connection, intimacy with each other, closeness, to let that any differing opinions to just sort of roll right off you, and find commonality, find common ground, find where you do connect. And yeah, I think it's good to take note if you are judging people, become aware of that and see if you can release it, and understand that everybody's literally, in their own world. and it's not up to you, or it shouldn't matter to you what they believe or think, right? I mean, unless if somebody is trying to impose something on you, that's another story, because then that becomes about boundaries and clear communication, and asking them not to do that. But it doesn't. People don't need to try to change each other's beliefs. If somebody has a question and comes to you, that's an opening, and they're asking you to talk about something, and maybe they're ready to shift. But really, this video isn't about beliefs. It's more about just releasing judgment. So hopefully this has given you something to think about, and I will be seeing you again very soon. I hope you're doing very well, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.